Hi there, and welcome to our video about ETC StoryTree. Think of all the essays and papers you have written and all the documents you have ever read. The written word on paper is great, but it locks you into a linear train of thought. At best, you can scribble down some anecdotal notes in the margins or borrow large swaths of verbiage and start anew. Even then, you're on your own. No collaborators, no easy point, counterpoint, no group writing. Even in the internet age, not really much has changed. Why, for instance, don't we have 1,000 authors collaborating on a story which splinters out into several thousand storylines and endings? It's a great idea, but nearly impossible to orchestrate. That is, if your mindset happens to be chained back somewhere between the Gutenberg press and the 20th century. Enter StoryTree. ETC StoryTree is an experiment in crowdsourced publishing. The idea in mind is to allow people to post short notes in 500 characters or less. StoryTree is organized in 3 main sections. An inverted graphical tree depicting all the story elements. We call the little squares leaflets. A storyline panel corresponding to any selected leaf on the tree, and a story input form that allows you to contribute to any storyline by either extending it or branching off to take the story in a whole new direction. To view the different parts of the story tree, simply click and drag the graphical tree panel. You can zoom in and out by clicking or placing your mouse over any leaflet and scrolling from the mouse wheel or your trackpad. If you want to view the progression of notes in a storyline, you can move the mouse over any note on the tree and the corresponding text appears in the storyline panel on the left. You can just pass your mouse over the leaflets to peruse the text content. If you want to read all the notes making up a storyline from the very beginning to one of the leaflets, simply click the leaflet. This sets your storyline context. Once set, you can leisurely scroll through the storyline panel from the very first leaflet. Sifting through all the stories is fun, but not nearly as much fun as contributing your own story posts and voting on any story post. To do this, you will need to log in using your Facebook account. Once you are logged in, you can click any leaflet as your starting point and add any new story. For instance, there's a leaflet titled Brooklyn Heights, and it identifies famous people, which include playwrights, poets, novelists, and technology writers. Let's add a new category called Actors. Click the Brooklyn Heights leaflet to make it your branching off point. Type in Actors in the title field. To add to the story, type in the text you want. For instance, you can add the actor Paul Giamatti, known for his lead roles in Sideways and John Adams, who lives in Brooklyn Heights. Once your entry is complete, click the Post button. Notice the tree has been revised and updated, showing actors from Brooklyn Heights. If you are on a roll and want to add note after note after note, just type in the information and hit Post. It is not necessary to keep clicking each and every leaflet once you are on a storyline. You may have noticed that I checked a little box next to the title field. This will cause the title to appear inside the storyline panel on the left side of the screen. With all the entries, StoryTree could grow to be very big. It is helpful to identify which posts are the favorites in the StoryTree community. The leaflets are colorized by popularity. If you think a post is cool, click it and hit the like button. When you do, the vote count will go up by 1. Leaflets with the most votes will have the deepest color. In building StoryTree, we rushed to get a lot done in the 48-hour period allotted in the competition. We did not get to finish our application as completely as we would have liked. Some things need to be mentioned. If you are viewing StoryTree on a small screen, it will help if you reduce the font size by pressing Ctrl- or Command- if you're on a Mac a few times, and then do a page refresh. After the competition, we will address the small screen size display issue. There were many features that we wanted to include. We do actually track the user ID and date time stamps, but they are not currently displayed. We will also add word wrap to the titles in the tree. After the node knockout competition, we will migrate etc StoryTree to our site, storytree.circles.io, and will continue the crowdsource publishing experiment there. We hope to find your storyline online. Thanks.